All right. Hello, everyone. I think I am live. So good to be here with everyone. Thank you all so much for joining. It's interesting. I wrote a couple notes on things I wanted to read at, and I think all of them have been starred by people that have sent question requests in today. All right. How's everyone doing? Good to be here. Um, what was I going to say? Oh, I'll be reading on political and current event questions today. So if you have any questions you'd like, go ahead and write them in the chat. All caps, a couple heart emojis. I'll get to as many as possible. Let me just get into a couple announcements real quick, and then we can go ahead and get started. So I announced it last Thursday when I did my show, but my website, kevinlovingvibrations.com, is all active. Had a few people reaching out for readings or Reiki requests. You can go to the website, book online, or look at my availability, my offerings, my rates, all on the website. And yeah, I'm really excited about that. It's been a huge step for me starting off my channel and getting into this work. Um, to be able to hit those kind of goals is really awesome, and I just want to thank everybody for all the support there. So I'm not going to pull the winners for the free reading and Reiki giveaway this week. I'm going to do it next Tuesday. So if anybody would like to enter still, you're still able to go over to the live section of my videos. Um, my solo live stream on March 12th, solo live, leave a comment on that video starting with the words reading or Reiki, depending on whatever you'd like to be entered into. And next Tuesday, I'll pull the winners for that and announce it on the show live. If you've already entered once, I do have an app so that it doesn't repeat requests. So you only need to enter once, but you do need to be subscribed to the channel. I do double check that. And I think just for some shows this week, um, tomorrow night I'll be on Susan Lynn's channel, and Afefe is going to be joining us for political and current event readings. I'm really looking forward to meeting her, and it's always great with Susan Lynn. So make sure to check us out. I think it's 8 p.m. Eastern time tomorrow for that show. I have a show with Mel this week. And then next Monday for my members, so April 1st, we're going to do our members live, a Reiki and prayer circle. So anybody may be interested in that or wants to become a member, you can go into the YouTube app and become a member. It's $10 for the month. But you would be able to see that video. And I do have a monthly question and answer session as well for many personal readings. And also, too, any of your intentions or healing requests I add to my crystal grid. You can kind of see it behind me. So we do that. So if you'd like to join, all that information's there. All right. All right, you guys, let's take a look at some of your questions. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that show tomorrow with Susan and Afefe. Oh, thanks, Art Maker. All right. Let me get some of these questions started. Give me just a moment. All right, we already almost have 300 people watching us. So do me a favor, please subscribe. Please hit that thumbs up. It really helps. Oh, Keisha, it's too much of a pain and a hassle to get my laptop up and move it over to show you, but you can kind of see it. I have rose quartz, amethyst. You can see the clear quartz charger in the middle, some selenite, celestite, howlite, a lot of crystals on the grid. All right, you guys. Well, just to make a note, I did say that I saw more Republicans leaving last Thursday, and then the congressperson from Wisconsin said that he's leaving in a few weeks. And I guess when he's leaving, they won't be able to do a special election for that seat. They'll just run it with the voting in November. But I did see some more people leaving the House. And like I said too, I felt like Mike Johnson very well will be leaving shortly. And then you see MTG put on that put on the floor that vote to remove him. I don't know if she's acted. I think they're on a break right now, but I think 2 weeks when they come back, that should be interesting. Um, but yeah, very interesting. I did feel a female energy leaving as well. My first thought was Kay Granger. We'll see if it's her or not. I know that she announced that she wasn't running for reelection. But I do feel female leaving on the Republican side. And then I did hear them say too that Murkowski may be switching to an independent in the Senate, which I found interesting too. So right, sign the discharge petition on your way out. Absolutely. Yeah, Mike Gallagher. Yeah, I feel like there might be like three more people leaving. All right, let's take a look. So for questions, let's take a look at the Supreme Court. I don't remember what that medication is called. I watched a bit of it this morning, and I don't think that they are going to ban that. Is it methylprestone or something like that? Let's take a look. Nothing would surprise me with the Supreme Court, though. Mifepristone, yeah. I don't think they're going to ban it. I do feel like they might be talking about kicking it back to the states, but I almost feel like that's not going to be successful either. Yeah, they're afraid of rocking the boat too much with the election. I think a couple of them. I think it's going to be okay, you guys. Women celebrating, happy family. There might be two or three of the conservative justices that vote to ban it. Alito and Thomas, possibly a third. But yeah, definitely people are anxious and worried about it. But I get the card representing them, the Six of Swords. So I'm kind of moving away from the turbulent waters, not wanting to rock the boat too much. And final outcome being like the happy family, women celebrating. So it doesn't feel like it's a loss. So it all feels good. But I do feel a few of them talking about kicking it back to the states, though. I don't think they have the votes for it. Like I said, it feels like two or three of them may vote to ban it. But does anybody do they make their decision tomorrow, or will we know in the next few weeks? Yeah, Rose Blues. I already talked about that. I do see more Republicans quitting the House. Absolutely, they're really upset with the RNC being taken over by Trump. They mentioned June. Okay, so it might be decided in June. Linda, if the ads are bothering you, you can. I don't have any control when I'm live when the ads go in. I do include a few ads after the show and after the video's uploaded. But if the ads are bothering you that much, I know that you can pay for a YouTube subscription that's ad-free. No pressure if you want to or not, but I know that that's an option. Yeah, absolutely. Skittles McDiddles. I like that name. Not sure that they can rock the boat any worse than they did overturning Roe v. Wade. Yeah, absolutely. But like I said too, I do feel like abortion rights being passed into law um, in the next Congress, next election. But in the meantime, it's just going to get a lot of women angry and um, voting blue. So at least something good comes out of something so bad. All right. Thank you, Donna. Yeah, Jason Tempinski did a wonderful job with the website. Oh, got you. Sorry that there was 2 ads in a row. Oh, Debbie says it's 18.99 plus tax for that. I didn't know how much it was, but that's why they're adding the ads during the live is because they want people to join their subscription. I guess almost $20 a month. Yeah, I guess so. All right. I know that yesterday was a bit of good news and bad news. Let's take a look at the hush money case. It's going to be starting April 15th. I'll be in DC on my trip then, and then I'm going to New York City too. So I don't know. Maybe I'll be in New York with all of that drama starting for the hush money case. But we had that good news that was not delayed, and then obviously the bond being reduced was very disappointing. I remember last week when I read on it, I felt like things were going to be delayed a little bit, but with him paying that. I did hear too that Trump was on Truth Social attacking the judge and his daughter too. And as soon as I heard that, I don't know if that judge, is it Merchan? I don't know if he's issued a gag order already on Trump, but I do feel like if he keeps it up, he's definitely not very happy. No, Merchan will not put up with any of Trump's crap. Let's take a look at the hush money case. I did throw on Trump last week, and I got the tower for April for him. Does not feel like April is going to be a very good month, and it didn't seem like it was getting much better afterwards. Yeah, I do feel like he's going to put a gag order on Trump. That was my first hit when I heard that. Now, I know that it might be a bit of an issue too with the charges because I do feel he'll be found guilty. Some of the felonies where there's a jail sentence with it I'm not feeling like a jail sentence for the hush money case. I mean, out of all the cases, I think the charges are the least significant, but I do feel like there's damage there for Trump too. Yeah, like I said, though, I'm not getting jailed, but there's a lot to be nervous about. I do feel like Trump may still continue to try to delay things, and I don't know if he can try to appeal when the case is going to start, but it feels like still like there's plans to hold it up from the April 15th with the devil. But I think it's going to be huge. There's a lot of momentum that leaves Trump very anxious. Communications being released. a lot of evidence being released. But in the end, it feels like Trump is continuing to battle. So maybe that's appealing and fighting the decision. So he's not getting jail time. But I do feel like there'll be a guilty verdict there. Hey, Patricia, I didn't really. I've read on Princess Catherine several times, and it gets a lot of people upset. So I'm not going to read on Kate. I did feel like she was sick and going through a bit of a hard time, but I always felt like there was light at the end of the tunnel for her. Her outcome is the star card. So that's as much as I'm going to get into Princess Kate. Oh, thank you, Charlie. Yeah, I know it's disappointing. I've never felt jail for Trump, but I also feel like the health taking him out beforehand. So maybe that's why. All right. Now I think MTG is going to win her next election, but then I see the legal challenges taking her out. Casey says 45 can try to appeal the date. He said, but experts say that the date will stick. Yeah, I feel like the date's going to stick, but I see him trying to appeal it. Do we want to take a look at my Magic Mike? Moses Mike Johnson? Let's see if they're going to actually kick him out or vote to remove him. I don't see him making a deal with Democrats to save him for the Ukraine funding. I do feel like there would be some Democrats that would vote to keep him in there if he agreed to that. I don't see him doing that. I keep telling you guys, though, the Republican Party is definitely imploding. We're seeing that. We're seeing the sides being drawn, people leaving because of their embarrassment of Trump and the MAGA part of the party, and it's just going to continue to be explosive. I do think that Trump will post the bond. He's still the 175 million. Now that doesn't mean when he loses his appeal, he will still owe the $465 million. But it just drives me crazy. You know, if any of us had to set a bill like that, they wouldn't care if we could get the money or not. But because it's Trump, he gets special treatment. I know. We're all just frustrated by all the special treatment he gets. All right, what's going on with Mike Johnson? Are they going to vote to remove him as Speaker? I get retreat. Yeah, resignation is crossing him. He's stuck. Yeah, they're heading into a new direction. I get it being a turning point for him. His luck's run out. The wheel of fortune, the wheel of karma is turning. To me, this Two of Pentacles is almost like the votes to keep him rather than to remove him. It feels like removing him, there's a lot more votes for that. I think if you count Democrats and a good amount of Republicans, government coming and stepping in, and then him retreating. And he's crossed by the Eight of Cups, which is resignation. He's stuck though. It's like he can't do anything. I said when he got in there, like he was going to be way in over his head. He couldn't do anything to be successful with that because the party's so divided. It's so split. But yeah, they're heading on into a new direction. Could be Hakeem Jeffries. I almost feel like with some of the Republicans leaving, though, that we will be able to get Hakeem Jeffries in before the next election. It does feel like maybe the House is stuck for a little bit, though, without a speaker because Republicans try to get somebody in there. They don't have anybody else that could become speaker. And then in the meantime, the Democrats are making deals with a few of the more moderate Republicans just to get something done before the election because it's so. I was just talking about this. AP breaking news. New York judge issues a gag order restricting Trump's ability to attack witnesses, prosecutors, their families, and jurors. I love when that happens when you're live, and I already made the prediction. I could tell it as soon as I saw, as soon as I heard that he had threatened his daughter and attacked him, he was pissed off. Oh yeah, we'll look at Ronna McDaniels. I have that on my list. Oh, thank you, Giovanna. Appreciate that. Yeah, let his attorneys have fun with all of that. Deb C. All right. Giselle says, if I understood Midas Touch, if 45 posts the bond, the appeal will drag out till summer. Okay. I think that's wrong though. I think when they reduce the amount that that it would expedite it. I'm pretty sure that that's how it worked. I could be wrong with that. All right, let's take a look at Ronna McDaniels. Do we even need to ask the question? Susie says, so now there's a gag order. Will he break it? What do you all think? Do you think Trump can help himself? Yes, he will break it. I had felt sanctions for breaking the gag order before when I've read on it. Um, and I feel like this judge does not play. I think they may even threaten jail. I don't see him being jailed though. All right, who are we going to look at? Ronna McDaniels. Yeah, he still has to pay the 464 million. All right, 700 watching. Thank you all so much. All right, let's take a look at Ronna McDaniels. I love that all the MSNBC hosts are really calling the network out for hiring her. It kind of reminds me, wasn't what's her name? They hired somebody from Fox, Megyn Kelly, I believe, and she was only on the network for a few months. I feel like they're going to let her go. They'll probably have to pay her contract out, though. Leslie says she just read that they dropped Ronna McDaniels already. I hadn't heard that, but I did feel like they were going to. I feel like she's gonna get some money out of it though, because I do feel like they signed contracts already. Yeah, I see her out. Yeah, she's getting paid too. I wonder if they're gonna. I feel like they're gonna try to fight it though, but I do see as their final outcome page of Pentacles, which could be a financial offering and some success with that. It's like she gets some time with family, but she's. I think all of her burdens are very heavy that she's carrying. Yeah, I see her leaving the Hermit, which is isolation. The network is. I think part of the network is a little mad that the host came down so hard on them that they're losing out on money, but they'll get over it. Oh, and Joel said that the news director resigns after McDaniel's hire. Yeah, there's a lot of outrage because she was hired. Yeah, I do feel like Rana has some legal challenges coming up too. Yeah, I see her. I don't see her being at NBC though, Deanne. Yeah, she'll get paid. I unfortunately. Well, thank you for the super chat, Rose Blue. I appreciate that. House Mom said that she doesn't see any news about gag orders on Trump. All right. So what else do we want to look at, you guys? Will the NBC executive resign after this McDaniel debacle? I don't know who that is. The executives resign. I don't know if they're all going to resign. I don't feel that, Jay. I do feel like there is somebody that resigns, though. Mm. I'm sorry, but I don't miss Chuck Todd. I was not a big fan of his, but to each their own. But I do appreciate that he stood up for, was it Kristen Welker with Meet the Press? Because she just interviewed her. I don't think she's been officially fired by NBC, Pam. But what I'm picking up is I don't think she'll last long. They'll have to pay her out. I feel like a lot of pressure to make sure that she doesn't get hired there. And really, she should. I mean, she shouldn't be on the network. I mean, I guess I understand that you can bring conservatives on. They have plenty of Republican people. Like Nicole Wallace was a former Republican. A lot of legal minds, but I mean, when you're lying and um, saying that the election was rigged and that Trump really won, and you just keep on promoting that, you can't just walk that back, a week after you get hired someplace. Colleen says that she was fired today. I don't know. I didn't hear she was actually fired, but like I said, I don't think she'll be there long. Will Murkowski resign in the near future? I don't see Murkowski resigning. I do feel like she may walk away from the Republican Party. Let's ask that. Yeah, she supported the insurrection, absolutely. Oh, thank you so much, Claudia. Thank you all for the super chats and stickers and donations. I really appreciate it. All right. Let's see. Well, Lisa Murkowski changed to an independent. I'm feeling she's going to change to an independent. I don't see her stepping down. She's a very fiery energy. Yeah, she has all the networks in place to be able to make the move to an independent. And a lot of women really respect her and love her. She's coming through as this Queen of Rods, which is this fiery leader. She's still thinking about it. I don't think she's made her decision yet. But I do see her moving on eventually, yes. And I think she'll still be successful. She runs as an independent. She'll still win elections. She's kind of feeling a bit stuck right now. Unsure. She doesn't really stand with where the Republican Party is going, even though she's conservative. And she's still kind of thinking it all through, brainstorming. I almost wonder too, the King of Cups and the Emperor here, to me, when I saw this, I immediately thought McConnell. I almost wonder when they oust McConnell from leadership, or, well, I don't see them ousting him, but I think health reasons is going to get him out of the picture before the election. I know he said he's stepping down, but I almost wonder when McConnell is out as the head of the Senate for the Republicans. I think that's when she may switch to an independent, because I think that the Senate's going to get a bit crazy too. But I have her moving on, and her star's still shining bright. So I do see that. Vintage Girl says, "What will the readers do when the circus is over?" I think that there's still going to be plenty to read upon. So I think it just depends on the reader. I do think a lot of us are going to probably switch more into maybe some teaching and teaching roles and spiritual development and growth, those kind of things. But I think a lot of us are going to still be reading on current events. I think it will be a good change, though, that we're not reading on Donald Trump and the Republicans all the time. But honestly, I don't mind, because I know so many of you are scared of what's kind of going on, and you really get a lot of comfort with the predictions. So but there'll be plenty to read on still. Hey, Raven, good to see you. Thomas resigned at the end of June. I'm just going to do a pendulum for that. I do feel like I always see Thomas leaving. Timings work. It's a bit hard. I don't think June. I'm feeling August. Let's ask the pendulum. Will Clarence Thomas resign before the 2024 election? Pendulum saying yes. Will Clarence Thomas resign by the end of June 2024? It just got very still. I'm going to ask again. Will Clarence Thomas resign from the Supreme Court by the end of June 2024? I'm getting a no, but I almost feel like maybe that's when there's a lot of pressure for him to resign. Will Clarence Thomas resign sometime in August 2024? Pendulum saying yes. August was my first hit, so it feels like it's a little bit later than June. Hopefully the pendulum's right with that. I do see him leaving soon, though, you guys. Oh, let's look at Larry Hogan. That's a good question. All right, he has a double-digit lead in Maryland Senate race. Will the Dems hold on to their majority in November? I think even if Hogan were to win, and I'm not saying he's going to, he's very moderate for a Republican, from what I've heard. I don't know what his stance is on abortion, but I feel like he would vote more aligned with Democrats than where the Republican Party is right now. Thank you for the super chat, Firefly. Do they have a Democrat that's won, or do they have their primary race still to come up for Maryland? Hogan is anti-abortion. Is Larry Hogan going to win the Maryland Senate race? Is there a woman running for that race? Anybody know on the Democrats? He's definitely got resources for it. Primaries in May. Is there a female on the Democratic side? I almost feel like a female may win. There's a female running. It's interesting. I'm not getting a for sure no, but I feel like there is. It may be close. He definitely has resources and money coming in for his campaign with the Nine of Pentacles. He's sitting pretty. He's got the government Hierophant above him, so he has that name recognition, and he does have some momentum there. I'm not gonna lie, but I almost feel like there's a woman coming through that has the Chariot that's winning. He's got the Three of Swords, so there's some heartbreak, but there's still an offer there. So this could possibly be another endeavor. My final outcome is the Queen of Swords, so I feel like it might be a female, but I think it's going to be a close race. No, he's not as bad as some. Like I feel like he would still. He feels like he's pretty bipartisan. Is kind of what I pick up with him. We'll look as it when we have two candidates. I think he's definitely got some momentum and funding there, though. My first thought is a woman may take that seat, though. Yeah, he's more moderate. Yeah, I did hear about that boat hitting the bridge in was it Baltimore, Maryland? I didn't feel like it was intentional, or I feel like there was a malfunction with the ship. I think they said that on the news afterwards, but that was my first thought. Like they lost power or control. Yeah, I think Hogan did speak out against Trump. Angela Allbrooks. Okay. All right. Firefly. Will anything happen to Andy Biggs, Paul Gosart, or Betsy DeVos? I do feel like Andy Biggs is going to be in a lot of trouble. I think his involvement with January 6th, Paul Gosart too. I don't know about DeVos getting in any trouble, but I feel like investigations into her. Oh, Nancy Wallace is a Green Party running against Hogan too. I don't know. Nancy Wallace actually is maybe resonating a little bit more than Angela Allsbrook. But like I said, when they have their primary, we'll take a look. But no, I do see Andy Biggs, especially Paul Gosar, getting in some trouble. Not sure about Betsy DeVos. And I think that they were still with that ship hitting into that bridge and collapsing the bridge. They're still looking for, I think, some of the workers on the bridge. And I mean, unfortunately, I did feel like they passed. I hope I'm wrong, but I don't feel good. It feels like the structure falling in and crushing. It was my first thought. I think they were they able to get cars off the bridge though? I think it was just the construction workers. I think they said that they were missing 6 people. 7 missing, okay. Yeah, to me, it felt like the building collapsing on them. 2 survivors, 6 missing, yeah. The water's 47 degrees. It felt like the structure falling on them, though, is what I was feeling. Oh, yeah, there's gonna be big lawsuits, absolutely, giga. How quickly will the Supreme Court rule on the immunity case? They're taking it up in April, correct? All right, will the Supreme Court rule on the immunity case, issue their ruling on the immunity case in May of 2024? It feels like it's gonna be end of May, early June is what I'm feeling, but I still feel like that case can be, I still feel like it's gonna be tried before the election. Yeah, the appeal, I think it's gonna be more might be about a month and a half. My first thought was early June, but the pendulum was saying maybe for May. So May or June. Raskin endorsed Angela Allsbrook. Thank you, Kat. All right, Raven, thank you so much for the super chat, my friend. Will Jeffries take speaker before June? All right. Or Jeffries. Will Hakeem Jeffries take the speakership position? Will he be voted in as a Speaker of the House in May of 2024? It started off as a yes and went to a maybe. Will Hakeem Jeffries be voted in as Speaker of the House in June of 2024? I'm getting a yes for June. So it very well could be May, June. I do feel somebody just asked if 45 is going to have any health issues this spring. Let's take a look. It does feel more like summer, but I do feel like I mean, we're already seeing his health issues right now, the dementia. But I did feel like him doing a rally or something and it being very obvious. Thank you, Kathleen. All right, let's take a look at 45's health. I don't think the GOP is going to kick out MTG from Congress, Joel. I see her getting reelected and then being forced out shortly into her term because of her January 6th involvement. Feels like it might be spring of 2025 she's out. Yeah, he's definitely got some challenges. He's got to watch the heart, though. I keep telling, it's like heart or stroke. Ooh. I don't know if it's spring. It's like he's still trying to be strong. He's still energized for entertainment purposes only. We know he likes the Adderall. So this is like him trying to push forward, you know, being recognized here. There is there is definitely some illness crossing him with the eight of cups, the heartbreak. He's going to try to push through it, but then his final outcome, I have the death card, which could be a physical death, but it's normally an ending with the healing temperance angel, and then moving on. But if you kind of look at this deck, it almost looks like heading into the light. To me, it feels like it may be more into summer rather than spring, but he definitely has health issues there. For entertainment purposes only, I am not wishing that. But that's what I see. I definitely see health challenges for him. Yeah, everybody's saying that they must be reporting on the gag order. When I saw that the Ukraine funding was going to get through, to me it almost felt like that discharge petition. Maybe they're actually able to bring it up on the floor for a vote, but I see Ukraine getting money and resources. Hey Dan, good to see you. Yeah, I got when I read on that, my first hit was that he was going to gag him, and then during the show, somebody announced that Judge Mershon was putting a gag order on him. I love that. I'm glad I got my prediction out first. All right. Debbie Case says a few cars were submerged with that. All right. Let's take a look. I didn't hear this, but Grateful said Ken Paxton made a deal and won't be going to trial for security fraud after all. We had high hopes for his downfall with that. What do you see for his future? I feel he's still in trouble. Does he still have other cases against him? Because I've always felt Paxton going down, and I actually felt some jail time for Paxton. Maybe it's something to come out still, because I did feel like higher ups in the Texas government, there was trouble for them. Deanne, I did put it in my 2024 predictions. I did feel like there was going to be terrorist activity worldwide this year. It feels like in the States, but also in Europe specifically, I was picking up. Do you guys really want me to look at P. Diddy? I don't really care about him, but I feel trouble for P. Diddy. I can do more of a deep dive on it if you want. All right, what's going on? What's Ken Paxton's future? There's more information coming out, and it's group work too. It's like taking finances or taking money, a group of people. But the Page of Swords is saying that that information will be released, and then he's kind of stuck. He's unsure of where to go. Yeah, he's trapped. Yeah, he's leaving, you guys. I'm telling you. I do not feel good for Paxton. Here's the resignation as the farthest outcome from the government. But no, he's trapped by all of his corruption. To me, it feels like it's financially related, taking money. I mean, right here, four of Pentacles, hiding money, holding on to money, and I feel like isolation with him too. I said in the past, I felt like there was 3 people in the Texas government that were going to get in trouble for taking money or something financially related, and he was a part of that. Yeah, Ness, I agree with you. That's why I don't really want to read on P. Diddy. I'm not going to say it, but I'll just post Ness's comment, and I agree with that. All right, we'll take a look at P. Diddy. Oh, I hadn't heard of the indictment. I heard that they raided his home, and I think they handcuffed his 2 sons. I read that's about it. But I did feel like some of the allegations there were truthful and them being brought to life. Yeah, I do get that he's in hiding, heartbroken. He does not feel very well to me either mentally. And I don't want to say that there's I don't like to diagnose people, but I mean, he's got the Seven of Cups here, which is having your heads in the clouds, illusions, delusions, you know, thinking he's this big star, the ego being really heightened. But then there's also like the Page of Cups, which to me is can be somebody that takes substances or there's some illness there. Um, but to me, it's kind of like that predatory vibe is what I'm feeling with that too. I this is the ending for him, you know, because he was the bully, was oppressive towards people. There's heartbreak for him. I do feel like, and the sun, which is illumination, but I do feel like maybe things are stalled a little bit. So if I don't think it's going to be a quick case against him, but um, yeah, I definitely see trouble for him. It's the end of his career. Angela, I'm definitely not saying that I don't care about the victims. I was saying I did not want to look into that energy. Being an empath, I like to make sure that I'm protecting myself. All right. I don't know if I can make you a moderator on StreamYard, Ness. I can make you a moderator after the show. All right. All right, you guys. Well, I've been on for almost an hour, almost 1,000 people watching. Thank you all so much for being here. Please hit that thumbs up. Please subscribe. Please go over to Susan Lynn's channel tomorrow night, 8 p.m. Eastern time. I will be on with Susan, and Afefe will be joining us. So if I didn't get to your questions today, please stop by tomorrow and ask. And I'll also be on with Mel Dore. So lots of opportunities to look at political and current event questions. Um, and then again, just a reminder for my members, our Reiki and Prayer Circle members live will be next Monday, April 1st at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you would like a reading or a Reiki session or check out my offerings, go to my website, kevinlovingvibrations.com. I think I have an appointment or two open next week in the afternoon, and more after that. So thank you all so much for being here. I always look forward to our time together, and I'll see you on YouTube here later, okay? Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.